Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. 5011 fam.
Howdy, partner.
Period. Long time no see. We are back
Long
after a little
time.
break, y'all. We needed it, and we're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about some things. So, welcome back to another episode of the 5011 Chronicles, where we have conversations that spark conversation. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Good. I had to take a good old deep old breath.
Come on, deep breath.
And I feel like that's what we both kind of needed to a certain degree. Sometimes life will just stop you. Like, what is that saying? When man makes plans, God laughs, or something like that.
The guy been giggling with his toes
This whole
curled.
time,
Okay?
toes curled, up in a little like knees up, like
Because
here.
talking about, I literally needed a breather, and I literally was stopped in my tracks multiple times. Like, they was not playing with me. Guy was
It
giggling
was.
away.
I
Like,
mean,
girl, you thought you was gonna be come through here kicking it? No, you need to rest.
no, you need to
You need to
rest.
sit your ass down,
So
and you ain't listening.
we have, and we're just gonna kind of like key y'all and just talk with y'all just a little bit, kind of fill y'all in. But we have episodes that we've already recorded prior to
Yep.
this break, this hiatus, this brief deep breath that we needed to take and that needed us to take it.
Okay.
Right, come on now, because your body sat you down, and I like.
I was gonna say this was
I
not
took
on
a
my
break.
calendar.
I took a break. You know, it was like birthday, and then I had work things going on, and then I went to Dreamville, which was so exciting. So we're gonna talk about some of those things, but like it was just one of those things where life like just comes in. It's just like you can't pass until you
Right.
take this break. So the break has been
Yeah.
taken. We're back. We're back. Um, and so we just wanted to key with y'all and talk with y'all because we were gone without any explanation. And we're gonna come back with just some renewed energy. You know, and again, sometimes life is just like that. Like I feel like I do that too, low key, as just me in my life. It's like sometimes when I get overloaded and have fun, I
Mm-hmm.
just kind of like turn inward and I just kind of isolate. And it's
Listen, I'm quick to get in my little shell.
real
Roll up some
quick.
nice
We,
anime,
and just
some
like
nice
tuck into
herbs.
yourself
Yes. And
and you
be
just be gone
away from the world.
away. And so I feel like low key that's what happened on my end too. Um, yours was a little bit more out of your control. You really didn't have no say so in that.
I didn't have
Um,
no say
you
so.
had not a lick of say so. Dee was fighting for her life.
I
We're just
did.
so grateful. Fran made it through.
Child, I
And
had to
let me
fight for
tell
my life
y'all,
twice.
when I tell y'all, I'm gonna give y'all real quick because this is a PSA that needs to be heard. Only because I feel like there's something happening in the atmosphere and in the environment as to why more of this is happening. Now, I normally get 1 or 2 sinus infections a year. And one is usually really bad that like sits me for like
Mm-hmm.
it makes me sick. Like I always tell people I can feel it coming. Second is always the worst thing. Um, I'm like I get delirious, it gets horrible. But on average I usually have two. Like in the past 8 months I've had 4 to 5
Mm-mm.
sinus infections. People have sinus infections. And so I'm gonna give y'all a couple tips. Just a couple tips. Wherever you live, go to a local grocery store or a farmer's market and get you some local bee honey. That's the
But
first thing.
I want to do it, and I just don't need.
I mean, you're not even a sweetened tea drinker, but it really is the
No.
best thing for you in your environment. Especially those of you who are dealing with we're dealing with some of the highest pollen count we've ever dealt with as a planet. Hello,
Okay.
2025. So
Which
I'm
could be
encouraging
easily
those of you.
resolved if they planted more female plants. Just plant more female plants, and
There
we
it
could
is. We
literally
can
fix
fix
this.
it. In the meantime, what I encourage anyone who lives in a place that especially gets heavy pollen is to use some local honey. The local honey is best because it's from local bees. Local bees, local pollen, local honey. It will help raise some of your
And so, how much do they take?
how much do they take? What do you mean?
Yeah, like is it like you like a little teaspoon every
I mean,
day,
you
or
can do
like
a
you just
teaspoon.
mix it
Yeah, a
in
teaspoon a
something?
day shouldn't be a problem. A teaspoon a day should be pretty easy to do. I mean, like, there's
Hmm.
so many ways you can eat honey. Like, you can consume it in tea. You can have it on fresh fruit. It can go on yogurt. People who eat yogurt. You can put it on cereal. You can put it in your oatmeal. You can put it in a smoothie. Honey is one of those things you can sneak in a lot of places.
Hmm.
You can cook with honey, but if you're using local
Hmm.
honey to the area in which you live, it's going to make it a lot easier on you moving through allergy and pollen and summer season. That's going to help. Ginger. If you don't like ginger, don't do it. Do the honey thing. But if you like ginger, just consume as much ginger and garlic as you can. I'm going to encourage it in as close as raw as possible. Pickled is fine. Cooking with it is fine. Just don't
I
overcook
was gonna
it
say because
because
I
you'll cook
love some
all
minced
of,
garlic.
you'll cook all of the benefits out of it. Do you know what the secret is to garlic? How long you're supposed to cook garlic?
How long?
No longer than 10 minutes. Whatever you're cooking, no longer than 10 minutes. Now, you can infuse the flavor of garlic into stuff, and of course, it's going to take longer. But if you want to get the maximum health benefits of garlic, add it in. You can start your dish with it, but add some more in towards the end of your dish before the last 10 minutes are up, so that way you'll still have that fresh garlic, those
Hmm.
antioxidant, antiviral, antibacterial. There's so many benefits to garlic and ginger. Ginger is also
Hmm.
anti-inflammatory. They're just so good for your system, and they're good for helping flush your system. Those of you who
Hmm.
can, I know everybody can't do leafy greens, but your leafy greens are going to be great. They're going to help
I
keep
love me
your
some
blood
spinach.
happy, like spinach, kale, greens, collards, mustards. You can
Hmm.
do a pot of greens. In certain parts of our culture, certain parts some of y'all don't want to talk about. That pot liquor, that is some of the best stuff you can actually consume. And it's delicious usually because you've got all the flavors and the seasonings. But you've got
As
all
long
of
as it
the,
don't get on nothing else.
I mean, yeah, but I'm talking about actually just consuming the pot liquor separately because that is packed with the vitamins from and iron from the greens. You
That like
cook them
cook
for so
down the
long,
greens.
so the
Yeah.
liquid itself becomes really valuable as far as flavor, and depending on what you're putting in there. If you're putting garlic, if you're putting some, you can sneak some ginger in the greens, y'all. Now, don't put a lot of ginger because it will definitely f up your greens, but you can sneak some in there.
Child.
Sneak
'Cause
a little,
ginger could tear something up real. Ginger is a real
ginger can tear something up
specific
real quick,
taste.
but you can sneak a little bit in there. But there's so many ways in which I just encourage y'all to also just eat some raw veggies and fruit. Like, it's really good for you. You want to boost your vitamin
Hmm.
C right now. You want to boost your all of your vitamins in general. So if you're not taking a vitamin, please start taking one. And if you don't want to take a vitamin, get your vitamins in your food as much as possible. Um,
In this, we in
because
America, so good luck. Just
But
get
I
you some
mean, as much
vitamins
that you
because we
can
in
make is
America.
right. But as much that you can make or as much that you can access, do it. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I
Yeah.
say. I always encourage that. Like, if you can get it, like, it's easy to just, eat an apple. You
Hmm.
know, like eating an apple's
Love
pretty
apples
easy.
with some
It's pretty
bananas. I
easy
mean, not.
with some peanut butter, right? And that's like easy. So, just think about it, guys. Like, I'm just throwing that little PSA. I'm not a health nut because I love my candy and my chips, and I'm known for
Hmm.
scarfing down some snacks.
We're
But
gonna
like, I
snack.
even, I even try and cut down some of my processed sugar. I'm drinking sparkling water, and I'm drinking more tea, and
Oh
some.
my gosh.
Yes, what you
You'll
got?
be so
Ooh, that
proud of me.
excited me.
I
Give me it.
had Olipop for the first time. I had the ginger ale
What
one. Now,
flavor?
I am
Ginger.
not a sparkling water girl.
Okay.
I'm not a fake. I don't really drink soda like that. But
Mhm.
I'm also not like a sparkling water girl. It just be tasting like carbon and a little piece of faint flavor to me. I
Mhm.
don't know.
That's
That
all it is.
Olipop ginger ale.
Mhm.
Oh my God. It has so much flavor. It was so good and it was so sweet. It was it was everything. I was
I've
like, this
had some Olipops because I used to work somewhere that sold them, and some of them I really enjoyed, and some of them I really did not enjoy.
mm-hmm.
I had the cherry and strawberry vanilla were both pretty good. The cola, I didn't enjoy that one. It tasted like flat Coke, and I didn't enjoy it. There was nothing fun about that.
Yeah.
But there was another one. I don't know if it was a root beer or something that I tried.
I
There was
think it was really
another
good.
flavor, and I really enjoyed it. I was like, that's different. That's differently
Mm-hmm.
different to the taste buds. I kind of like that. But also I'm like in a season of trying and making these different. Like I've had some different lemonades. So like a lavender
Mm-hmm.
lemonade, a rose lemonade, like elderflower lemonade, like just a little sparkling lemonade. Just like a little something for a Tuesday or something.
Little one too.
Nothing fancy. It was just like a Tuesday. But I don't know. I think also in this season, as I'm getting a little bit older, I just wanna try. I wanna
You
see
are
what
in
it's
your
out there.
30s.
Alone. Is that how we're
Yeah.
framing that? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. It's
You know,
so crazy.
I pray to get there one day,
That's
you know. I pray I'm
that's
just get I'm
so
sitting
wild.
up for that.
Oh wow. Okay.
So
Noted.
far in my future.
Okay. Denial is the river. You know, I wear mine proudly. I just turned 32 and I don't look a
My
day
birthday
over
good.
23, 24. I get 20, 24, 25 on average. So I'm grateful for that. Um, but I just hope to age like my mom. That's my goal and purpose in life. Because if I look like that at 70, anything, just put me on the cover of it, whatever it is.
You know who is like so graceful? Jane Fonda. Jane Fonda looks
Yes.
good. Okay, let me
I
tell
love me
you.
some Jane Fonda.
Jane Fonda
You want to
looks
talk
good. And
about an
I love
ally?
did you watch Grace and Frankie?
I watched some of Grace and Frankie, but I love her and
It's
Lily
so
Tomlin
good.
together. Like that is genius.
Yes, they
That
are so
is
cute.
genius casting. One of my favorite Jane Fonda moments. As a kid, I had no business ever watching Barbarella, but that was my introduction to Jane Fonda. I still don't know why I watched it, and I know I watched it at least 4 or 5 times. Like it wasn't like a one and done. Like I saw Barbarella, and I was pretty familiar with the movie. But one of my favorite, like literal favorite of all time movies involving Jane Fonda is Monster in Law with her and Jennifer Lopez. Now,
Oh yeah.
Jennifer Lopez can't sing to save her life, your life, or my life, but she can act. She can act.
She can act.
She can
And she can
like
dance.
she can act, and she can dance. She hasn't been
She's
dancing. Never mind.
performing.
I'm not about to do it right now. I'm not about to
And
read that
why
book
do
like that.
people like the people flipped on J Lo? No, the people loved J Lo, and then it was like last year, everybody was just like, "No, we hate J Lo."
More stuff started
Actually,
coming out
we're
about
not
J
buying
Lo.
her tickets.
Yeah, more stuff started coming out about
Like,
J Lo. And then her and Ben. Everybody was just kind of over J Lo. She's
J Lo
low
was
key
like the Puerto
delusional.
Rican Beyonce at one point.
For sure, absolutely. She still low key is. Um,
Hmm.
but we just don't. I can't speak for everybody. I don't always see it for her because I've always felt like J Lo was not a good singer. Make good music. It's like Selena Gomez makes good music, not a great singer. Ooh, I was about to put. Let me tell you. So I went to Drumville, y'all, and I have to tell y'all something. Oh, I
You know, I
probably
used to look
shouldn't say
so cute.
this. Thank you. I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it
Yeah.
because it was the only disappointment I had about the whole trip. So we watched a lot of people. We saw amazing live performances. I mean, Coco Jones. Oh my gosh. Erica Badu was there. Um,
Yeah.
Keisha Cole. If y'all don't buy these tickets and see Keisha on this 20th or 25th anniversary tour, Keisha Cole put on a performance. It was so good. It was so good. We were hyped.
Really?
It was so
This
good. I was shocked. I
has
wasn't
been.
thinking it was gonna be that good of a performance, and it
Yeah.
was amazing. Like it was one of the best of the whole weekend. Yeah, Keisha Cole put on a show. J Cole, of course. JID was probably my most interesting experience. I'll talk about that in a
Love.
second. Well, I'm gonna talk about JID in a second because I'm putting Aisha
Hmm.
out there. Because my friend didn't give me all the information. But we also saw Tim's, and we saw Earth Gang. Earth Gang was phenomenal. So Tim's was there,
Oh,
and Tim's was performing live, and it's beautiful, so beautiful.
she's gorgeous.
But the mic was on,
Hmm.
and there were moments when I wished it wasn't.
So is it
I love Tim.
like one of is because she could be like a scissor where it's like a
I
hit
think
or
she
miss. Like
was,
you have your
yeah.
good
I think
days and
she
then you
was.
have
I think
your
she was.
some
Part of
days.
it could have been nerves. I don't know if she was nervous, but I think at this point, maybe she might have been a little nervous. That's possible. It's potential that she could have been a little nervous.
It could have been the
Um,
pollen. The pollen's been out. She not from this
Mm-mm,
country. It could have got
mm-mm, mm-mm. It wasn't the pollen. It wasn't the pollen. The pollen count wasn't, you know,
it. Not that
and the
day.
weather was great. It wasn't, no, it wasn't. I would have known if it was, because I'm still sensitive to Alabama pollen. Like, all of it get me, so it wasn't the pollen. Um, there were just moments where it was more than just a little pitchy. It was, and so that was actually a little disappointing because we were pretty close to Tim's. Like, and I was just kind of, oh, who was supposed to be going on? We gonna go over there for that, or we just gonna move a little bit closer? We're just gonna. So after Tim's was, I can't remember who it was. Somebody was from the other side. And goddamn, this was Sunday at Drumville. It was box. It was hits. You just had great performances from beginning to end. Not saying that you didn't have that Saturday, because you did. Saturday culminated with Lil Wayne. I'm like, it was a good, so the whole weekend was fantastic. Who else did we see on? We saw Keisha Cole. We heard part of Lil Wayne, because that's when we decided to go ahead and head out, because we go ahead and sneak out now. We won't get caught up and pass around and find out when everybody leaves at the song. So that's why we did that. And it was the smartest move. We did that both times. We stayed for a 90% J. Cole set because it was phenomenal. But we dipped, it was the last, actually, he was doing the next to last song when we were leaving to go, because we had to walk everywhere. So, okay. So Tim's ends, and JID is going to be coming on the stage in front of us, and somebody else is going on the stage behind us at that time. So JID is one of Aisha's favorite artists, and this is part of why we came to the festival was for her to see JID. Like, she loves JID. So Fran is like, and I'm gonna play this whole situation out because this is how it went down, y'all. I need y'all to know that I can't make this shit up. Like, I can't. The timing, how it all flowed. This is how it went down. Other concerts going on. I think we were sitting chilling. And Frank's like, okay, we should move down. I want to be down near the pit for the period. That makes sense. We're just seeing JD. We're gonna get down. I was like, we get you down to the pit, and then I sit a little bit further back because I can chill as long as I know where you are and we're good and we're safe. I can just chill while you're turning up to JID because I know JID is turned. And I'm seeing from the crowd that there's a lot of these young men, a lot of YNs. And so we can get a little hype. And then there's a lot of
Not the
Wahites
YN.
and the Wahites. And they're all about the same age. They're all looking like 19 to 22. So I'm like, I remember being 19 to 22 and how much energy I had and the shenanigans I got into. And I was tamed. I was real sheltered. So I can't imagine me being in the middle of all this. It's just going to be like my. So we're walking down. And I'm just like feeling good. I bought my little blanket for us to sit on. We had a little Dreamville blanket, had my little bag with my little waters in it. And I mean, like, we had our little setup. So we get down there and we're walking. I'm like, yeah, friend. So about how far is the pit? Because we're just walking down. We're just walking down towards the stage. And I was like, yeah, about how far is the pit? And she goes, yeah, yeah, I think we're in the pit now. I was like, oh, bad. Okay, this is the pit. Okay. Well, look at us down in the pit. I was like, okay, that's nice. I was like, and I mean, like, it's just like this. She's just standing there. We're just smiling. Beautiful day, smiling, birds flying by, everybody in their festival wear. And I'm like, yeah, so like, this is the pit, but it's not like this is a mosh pit. It's not like they're gonna be moshing or anything like that, right, friend? And I just turned and I'm like, right? And she's just like, Aisha has this look on her face, and Aisha is so straight to the point that I can always pretty much tell what's about to come out of her mouth when she turns to look at me. I can see it on your face. Like, you and Aisha are not, and Shakita, all of my best friends, none of y'all are good at hiding it on your face. When I look at you, it's on your face. So I usually know. So when I turn to Aisha's face and there is no certainty, there's not an ounce of certainty on her face. She's like, okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know. We've moshed before at one of his shows. I was like, oh, is it okay? So then instantly, I told Aisha, I didn't tell her this in the moment, but I told her this afterward. I was like, instantly, I began to pray on the inside. And I was like, God, I don't know what I've gotten myself into.
They is not trying to be leaned and rocked all up into the
I have
pit.
heard about a mosh pit before, and I've never wanted to partake. It's never been something I was interested in because it just looked a little too, like, I'll be angry, but I don't be having that in me. Like, I don't be just
Hmm.
voluntarily wanting to hop into, like, let's kick each other and punch and rage out. Like I want to go to a rage room and break stuff. I don't want to be broken. So, I was just standing there reflecting on what have I gotten myself into, right? And what ends up happening is it ends up being one of the coolest experiences of my life because
Yeah.
we were not so close to the front that we were in the mosh when they started to mosh. They moshed about
Hmm.
20 feet ahead of us. So they were in front of us, but we weren't in it. And he also made an announcement, which was nice. I really liked the disclaimer. Hey, y'all know, he was like, y'all know what the F we do? And I was like, I know what that means. I know what that means. They're
Ah,
about to mosh. I
that's
was like, I
that.
know what's about to happen now. We got a warning. But okay, so before the concert, before he starts, and everybody's aware that J&D is about to come on stage, everybody is already standing. And I mean, like, we're shoulder to shoulder, and it's got to be 1,000 people, maybe. It's a lot of people just in this area in front of the stage. It's a lot, and I know it had to be a lot because we were in the front 10%,
Hmm.
right near the stage. We were close enough to the stage. Through some, it probably could have landed, but not so
Hmm.
close that we were in the mosh pit when they started moshing. So we're standing there, and they start like, and somebody says something. I think either I overheard a conversation or a friend said something to me, and it was something to the effect of be prepared to move. And I was like, what is that? Like, I know what you're saying, but like, what does that mean? Like, be prepared to move. Does that mean like we break out a synchronized dance? What does that mean? Like, am I supposed to know the dance? Am I too close and I don't know the dance? And so, like, look, this is how my mind is running because I'm like freaking out. So I'm like, okay, well, okay. So be prepared to move. But I learned what that means in just a few seconds. And it's like the first of three surges happen. And these surges are these things where the whole audience surges forward towards the stage. I don't know where they found the spare room because we just like went forward and we did this three times in the first or within the first or second song. Like within the beginning of his set, we surged three times. And it was the wildest thing I've ever experienced because literally you just take off running. You just take off running straight until it stops. And I'm like, where did y'all discover these 50 feet? Where did this come from?
Right.
Like, I'm just thinking, where did this come from? Like, how are we getting any close? I was so confused. And I just remember telling Aisha when we made it out alive, because the last song comes on and he's basically announcing they're about to mosh. And he calls out his friends and they get down there and they mosh. And somebody gets hurt in the moshing or because of the moshing, right? So he's like, hey, we gotta stop because the song's short. And he's like, medics get out there. And as the medics are ready to take the person away, the crowd starts cheering, like, run that shit back or something to that effect. And he was like, you savages, somebody just got hurt because of y'all. What do you mean run it back? What do you mean run it
They
back?
like
Somebody just got
we did
hurt.
not finish the song. The
Right.
set ain't
But it was
over.
so funny. He was like, what do you mean? I think he called them savages or hoodlums. It was one or the other, but it was something like that. He was like, what do you mean run it back? You hoodlums? Like, somebody got hurt because of y'all. Like, and it tickled me. So JID was, I think, and Keisha Cole were the two big surprises for me of how great of the
Hmm.
performances they were because I hadn't
Yeah.
really listened to much JID. I listened to some, and I hadn't listened to Keisha
He's
in years,
he's
but
really good.
Keisha Cole had us going, and it was
Keisha is who I'm
great.
surprised about because
It
I
was so
really
good.
wasn't the biggest like. So how you felt about Tim's voice is how I used to feel about Keisha
Same,
Cole's voice.
same.
So like and like I used to feel like she was kind of yelling at me a little bit when
Absolutely.
she was singing. Like it was giving like almost sheepish. Like, are you
The
yodeling?
growth,
Like I'm confused.
the
But so
growth. I
that's
feel like
why
was there
you
live.
sang that. I'm like, Keisha, like,
I'm gonna have to send you one of the
because
videos
it was,
live. It was good. It was the energy.
yeah,
She had some of the highest energy on stage.
the
She
mic was
gave
on.
the mic was on. She was
Period.
ad libbing. She was singing. Um,
Yes.
it was good. It was funny because she had this breakup recently, and so she would be like, where my ladies at? And when she here, and she's like, yeah. And every time she did this 3 or 4 times, where my fellas at? And the guys would cheer. She'd be like, F y'all. Every time. She's like, but I ain't mad. I ain't mad though. But it was
So
it
that's
was
one
it
thing.
was
I
really
need my
good.
sister Keisha to get it together, girl. You cannot be still going through this. Like, I'm sorry, Keisha, girl, but it's just like, girl, when do you learn? Like, girl, you cannot keep going through
We need to get into some of the other current events really soon too. Like maybe, I know one thing, and as we wrap it up, y'all, we have so much more that we have planned for the remainder of this season. We've seen Daredevil, so we're gonna
and the
talk about
rest of what we
Daredevil,
had already did.
and of course the rest that we'd already done. So there's some Spider-Man in there. There's some more content.
Yes.
So we've got some other things that we're gonna you're about to start getting. But also, like, be prepared to hear some conversations about some other current events and things that are going on. Because, friend, I want us to talk about Kenya Moore and what's going on with Real Housewives
Honey,
of Atlanta. I want us to get into Shannon
listen.
Sharp and what's going on with Shay Shay, Child. And so there are things that need to be talked about.
Yes.
And so we will be coming back to the table very soon with some current events, y'all. And even some new shows, because I just finished a show. I watched it in 2 days, which says a lot for me. I don't do a whole lot of, like, when I'm in certain moods, I don't do a whole lot of newness. Like, I have to
Hmm.
ride my comfort shows and have maybe one or two, especially when I have 3 or 4 things already in circulating, like new episodes that I'm waiting on. I can't keep introducing new shows right now. No, I'm following 15 plots. I have my shows I got to check back in with next week. So y'all calm down. But I did just binge Mixing Trip on Hulu. And I want us to talk about that too, because that was
I
surprisingly
have to look
a
that
really
up.
good show. I'm gonna send it to you. Mid
Y'all,
Century
so
Modern.
y'all know I be anime down, but I just watched this limited series on Netflix, The Gardener, and
Mm,
child.
I
So
think I
it's
added that in there.
about this boy. He gets in a car accident with his mom, and so like he don't have no emotion. He don't feel no emotion. But the mom. So because he don't have no emotions, the mom basically started using him as like a hired assassin. And like so they get into the things with that. And like when I tell you, the crazy thing is like the person who is doing all the unaliving is the only person I like during the whole thing. Everybody
Oh,
around him pissed me off. Everybody around him, everybody associated with him pissed me off, and I just felt bad for him. But it was so good.
The
It
Garden.
was
Okay.
so good.
I feel like, is that live action or anime? Okay, okay. Because I feel like I saw The Garden or something, and I feel like I saved it. That might be what it was. And yeah,
It's on
okay,
Netflix. It's really good.
okay. Also, do you watch 911?
Dude, but I'm not caught up, so don't.
I'm
I
not about to say
already didn't
nothing. I
seen
was just about to ask if
because
you've seen the most recent
it
episode.
911 be a lot. I be having this. I am
You
May
didn't
at the
take a break.
crying wall. I
Yeah.
gotta take a break, so I had to pause on 911 because it was my emotions was just too involved. It was too much.
hmm That's
I was
how I felt.
feeling way too
I
much.
feel like Station 19 did that too, where they just like bum rush you
Yes,
with a lot of
because it
emotional
was
stuff.
like the race thing, and then it was like he died, and then somebody else,
hmm
like people was just dying and dying
People were
and dying.
just
It was just
dying.
like,
People just kept. I was just like, and then the show was over. I was like, what do you mean? We just end the show like that? Like, No warning, no notice. Yeah, no, we're gonna have to talk about that when she
Because
gets
that was
caught up.
another one, Station 19. I had to like pause just to
Mm-hmm.
get through sometimes.
Same.
But I love 911
And
because
then
I
what was
love me some
that?
Angela
What
Bassett
was the
as
white
a girl.
girl with the blonde hair? She used to get on my last nerve. She was like she ended up being the captain at one point. She was married to
Yes,
Kareem.
because she was the old girl best friend. I know exactly who you're talking about.
She
Yes,
used to get on my
yes.
last nerve. Oh,
She used to
she
get on
used
my
to aggravate
nerves.
the hell out of me.
The princess of Station 19 used to get on my nerves.
You mean the Empress?
Okay.
You mean the
When I
Empress?
tell you, I couldn't stand her.
Andy?
I could not
Andy?
stand her.
Yeah, Andy was a
I
lot.
could not like
Andy
that
was
girl.
a lot. Oh my goodness.
She was
Yeah, we
too
have
much
so
for
many
me.
things we're gonna get into with the remainder of the season. So y'all, thank you so much for you know riding with us. We got through this break, y'all. We're back, and we're excited to finish out
We
the season
alive
with
and
y'all.
we ready.
We love y'all. We'll see you next week in another episode of the 51 Chronicles. Peace.
Feel like my little magical girl.